Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time since... That's... Okay, we're good. We're back on. We're back on. Sorry about that, folks. Hello and welcome inside of the inside the gymnasium here at Hot Springs County High School. It is junior varsity girls volleyball on T-Basin Sports Network for the first time since 2020. We're delivering this beautiful sport to you here. Just forgive me as I test something here real quick, and everything is good. So all set. We are using a new little toy in our arsenal here today. We got a stream deck to hopefully make things a little bit more smoother in terms of doing the score and stuff like that. So we got a new score package specifically for volleyball, so we're also debuting that here today as well. Today's game is going to be between the Lander Valley Tigers of Lander, Wyoming, and the Thermopolis Bobcats. Our first volleyball broadcast of the season. Hopefully, going to get some kinks worked out here in the JV game. And well, as always, let's get this started here. This is a sport that we haven't covered on the channel since our Facebook days, where we were Facebook only. That was 2020. The last game I remember streaming was Rollins. That game did not end out well for the Bobcats back in 2020. But hopefully a bit of a better result here today. Just a little bit of a reminder of who's who. The Lander Valley Tigers are wearing the black uniforms, a bit of a black to green variant from top to bottom. Green numbering, Lander in white across the chest, and Tigers on the back in white as well. Lander will be going on the left side of the floor to start today's game. The Bobcats wearing their white shirt with purple pants and purple lettering and numbering. Bobcats on the back of the uniform. They will be serving from the right today in this first set. So, just waiting on the okay here from the head official. Looks like the Bobcats will serve at first to get us started here. First serving, number 18, Izzy Hetzel, a sophomore. She is listed as a setter in today's game here. And the whistle is ready to go. And first serve of the day, Hetzel delivers, and we are underway. The libero gets to it here and bumps it across, and that's going to go right back up to the Bobcats. The spike and the dive, it will go right back in. Bump, set, spike, and a whistle. And it looks like they called it. I think they called it a double there on the Tigers. No, check that. Apologize for that. Lander will be serving here. Bump up toward the corner, a little out of control. That'll hit the net. Lander will get it out of bounds, or will get the point from the out of bounds there for the Bobcats. The serve from the Tigers, bumps it up, tries to go for the tip over, and that is going to hit the net. There'll be another point on the board for the Tigers. Don't know what's going on there. Our scorer was not working there for a moment. And an attempted pass there from the 13. I believe that is Ella Slover. Not going to work out quite well there. So Lander going on their fourth consecutive serve here. Sends it over and goes for the dig, and it doesn't work out. A good play there by Jalen Stedman, but not able to get much further than that. So Lander will serve once again, and we will zoom out for our audience here. We'll make it a little easier on me, but and so that will draw a timeout here. I believe it was taken by the Cats, so we'll be right back here in just a moment. First timeout taken of 2 here in the opening set. 6-0 Lander. We'll be right back. You're watching Junior Varsity Volleyball on T-Basin Sports Network. welcome you back. Lander, first one out of the timeout here. Allow me to test something real quick. Okay, and both scoring things work now, so still getting used to this new new device here to help me out. And so with that back underway, Bobcats with it. They'll bump this one over, and it looks like they may have. And it looks like a double hit there on the Bobcats will give the Tigers a point. Not allowed to do it. You can't hit it twice or individually. You can't hit it twice in the same possession. So keep that in mind. Goes for the spike, and a beautiful spike there. The kill made, and the kill by Paige Jones. I believe that was down there on that near side. So the Bobcats will get their first point of the match. Bobcats back to serve now, and we are back underway as she'll send it over. Bump here, and the spike coming up, and great save there by Paige Jones. Gets it back over, and great job by the Bobcats. Sky Griffin in on the kill that time for the Bobcats. Makes it 7-2. Still Lander in the lead, but the Bobcats on their third serve here. Sending it over the serve. I believe this is Jones. And going up and she'll tip it over. Tries to return it back over and keeps it alive. And they're going to go, this is going to be an interesting one. Goes for the set there on the middle side. Goes for the spike. It goes over the net there, or goes along the net. And this is going to be 4, yep. And a great play again. I think I saw Jones down there trying to make a play. Didn't quite work out. 8-2 Lander. We got subs, I believe, coming in now. As I believe Aria Vincent is coming in, or Araya. Coming out off of the floor is Jalen Stedman. 8-2. Can't quite see the number very well. The serve here goes. A good reception, but just maybe a little too much power there. And that was Mackenzie Fixter that served for the Lander Tigers. Fixter will be back here toward the basketball baseline. Bit of a far serve, and she'll send it over. The bump. Spike coming up on the far side, and that's going to hit the net off of the number 7 of Sky Griffin. Another point for the Tigers. So it makes it 10-2 here. Sends it over, goes for the dig. The bump, and it's sent over there by Paige Jones. It hits the net. That's a point for the Bobcats. A good job holding on for that one, 10-3. And we got another sub this time for Lander. Is coming onto the floor is Kennedy Brown. Coming off is Mackenzie Fixter. Serve coming up here for Sky Griffin this time for the Bobcats. Sends it over and sends it high. Trying to keep it. It goes toward the scorer's table off the 21 of Ellie Alcaraz. 10-4. Bobcats still trail. I completely forgot if it's 1st to 21 or 1st to 25 in JV. I know at the middle school level they do 25 these days. So sends it over to return to center to hits. Number 11 on the kill there for the Bobcats. Not on our roster, unfortunately. I do believe that is Marika Ammond. Is that how you say that? The serve. Sends it over. The bump. And 2 Lander Tigers there to spike it. They'll send it back over. Ammond with it. Goes up for the bump spike there. Or I don't really know what to call it. But the bump over the net there. The spike. And I think they got Lander on, or Thermopolis on something there. 6-10. Or check that. I think they got it on Lander. They did signal on number 10 there. So I think they might have caught Fixter on something. Or check that, not Fixter, but I think they definitely caught Lander on something there. But that one hits the net, so it'll go back to Lander anyway. 11-6. Sends it over, receives it. And this is going to be an ugly one, and that's going to go out. Yep. Not off the fist the right way there, off of Slover. Goes out of bounds on the near sideline. That will be Lander keeping the possession here. Sends it over. And that just, I think it went under the net there off of Hetzel. Izzy Hetzel was there was there to receive the serve, and unfortunately just didn't bounce quite the right way. Delivered. Sends it up from the corner. They'll go for the set and the spike, and that is, Lander keeps it alive. That's going into the front of the net. Bobcat point. I didn't catch who had the save there. It was somebody on that near side. I think it was the 9 of Katie Moore there on the save for the Tigers. Sends it over, and that one is out of bounds. A little bit of a misfire off the serve, and it'll be Lander point. Whistle. It looks like we got a sub coming in for Lander. Number 27, Claire Wagoner coming in. Sends it over, and they'll send it right back, and they'll let that one fall out toward T. Hill. That's another Lander point as it goes out. Wagoner back behind the line, getting ready to serve for the Tigers. There to receive it is the 7. Now they'll go for the set. Bumped over there by the 13 of Ella Slover. Here comes Lander. They'll tip this one, and a beautiful dig there for the Bobcats. Goes back over to Lander. And the spike, and out of bounds. It looks like, shoot. Don't know what happened there with our camera. Oops. Either way, they gave the point to Lander. There was a violation on the Bobcats, so they'll send it back. I didn't see the referee hand signal there to see what it was because my camera decided to fall. Goes from the near side, and that one is bumped way out by McKenna Clancy. That'll be a Bobcat point, 16-8. And another Bobcat substitution checking out will be number 22, Aria Vincent. Number 8, Jalen Stedman coming in for the Bobcats. Goes for the spike. That one off the hand of Sky Griffin, and they're all trying to go for it. And sliding in like a soccer player there was the 8 of Jalen Stedman. She tried to go for a last-ditch effort to save it. And now checking in for Lander, Mackenzie Fixter back into the game, as she will come back in for the player that replaced her, Kennedy Brown. And now the libero getting ready to serve here for the Tigers. Sends it over. I think that is Jones that got that one there. Sends it over. Libero gets a hold of it, trying to chase it down, and that does not quite work there. 17-9. We're trying our best to keep up. We're still kind of adjusting to the speed of volleyball here. Again, this is our first broadcast on the sport since 2020, so forgive us for being a little rusty. Getting ready to serve, number 13, Ella Slover. Sends it over, gets the bump. Now the set, spike. And the dig there by the 20 of Jones, and she'll send it back over. The bump tries to get toward it goes under the net off of the 8 of Jalen Stedman. So that'll be point number 18 there for Lander. About 7 or so points away from ending this opening set. So timeout for the Bobcats, I think, was the call on the floor. We'll be right back from inside of Hot Springs County High School in just a moment. You're watching JV Girls Volleyball on Two Basin Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. Like to welcome you back. here inside of, we actually got a bit of a correction there from the referee. It is actually Lander that has used their timeouts here. So we'll change that as soon as we have an opportunity to. Still airborne, and that's a miscommunication down there on the floor with the 13 and the 11, Ella Slover, and I assume that's Ammon down there. 19 on the board for Lander as they'll get ready for another serve. They've burned both their timeouts according to the referees, and that is out on the side. So I guess I should have just said side out, but that is going to be the point that gets the Bobcats into the double digits here, so that's a silver lining at least. Going up and a return spike. That is I think that's a net violation there. I believe that was exactly the case as they give, and I saw a Bobcat run into the net there. So got another sub for the Tigers. Ellie Alcaraz coming back onto the floor here. I believe she'll be serving as well. 20-10, Lander on top here in this JV contest. First set, I believe in JV it's best of 3, and that's going to be into the net, back to the Bobcats. Now serving for the Bobcats, number 8, Jalen Stedman, the sophomore. All but 2 of the players on the roster here are sophomores, at least on the JV roster. Bumps it over. The set there, and the spike coming up. That's going to hit the bottom of the floor, or that's going to hit the back side of the court there. And the spike goes up, and the flagman raises it. That is out of bounds on the Tigers. 20-12 is your score. The Bobcats kind of inching closer here a little bit. Definitely a better situation than what they were previously in. And there it looks like the ball has went into the weight room over there on the side of the gym there. And so that gives the Bobcats a small breather there, but the serve coming up for Stedman. Goes on the spike. The bump and the spike, tipped over there. Tries to spike it to the near side. Kept alive by the Tigers. And they'll try and knock it back over. This is a pretty good rally. I think the longest rally of the day so far. Spikes it over and a little too much juice on it. That will go out of bounds. 21 on the board for Lander. So subs for both sides here. Aria Vincent coming back onto the floor for the Bobcats. Lander has a libero, but the Bobcats don't. That's very interesting. The set and the spike, they go to the middle of the floor to make it happen. And a spike from the near side. Saved there by the 18 of Izzy Hetzel. Now they're going to try for the spike again over to the near side. Keeps it alive. And they'll bump it over, and that might have been a bit of a mistake there. Probably should have let it fall. That's going to be 4 coming up. Yep, there they go. So Lander extends it back up to a 10-point lead. Oh, off the bottom of the fist there for the 13 of Slover. Tried to give a bit of a pass to Paige Jones, and kind of have to angle your passes a little bit more accurately here. Tigers will try this again here. 23 on the board, 2 away from the set victory. The bump set for Hetzel, and now the tip. And the dig there on the near side. Lander keeps it going. He'll try it. That one's going to go out of bounds. Bobcats benefiting off a lot of those overpowered shots today by the Lander Valley Tigers. And now getting ready to serve is going to be Sky Griffin, 23-13. Sends it over. And they'll have a bit of a softer one over the net, and that's going to go out toward the student section. Out of bounds, and this is going to be set point for the Lady Tigers. Hope you're having a great day watching on Two Basin Sports Network. We got varsity competition coming for you after this game, so stay tuned for that, also against the Tigers. Bumping it over, and they're going to try and get this one going on the spike, and blocked! That's going to go out toward the far side. That's the Bobcat point. And still a 10-point game, still on set point for the Tigers. Got to win by 2, just in case the Bobcats somehow pull 10 more points out of a hat here. That one's up. I don't know. Is that going to be 4? Yep, they'll just let it fall. So Lander knew that one was a lost cause. They just let it fall. 9 points here separate the two teams. Jones on the serve. Sends it over and into the net, and Lander wins the set. And so with that, that's going to bring a close to the opening set here as the Lander Tigers are only one set away from victory here in this JV contest. We'll be right back for the start of the second set in 3 minutes. Do not go anywhere. You're watching JV Girls Volleyball on Two Basin Sports Network. The future of the Bobcats here on the Voice of the Bobcats. Lander winning the game, or winning the match 1-0. We'll come right back in just a moment. I'd like to welcome you back here to Junior Varsity Volleyball on Two Basin Sports Network. The future of the Bobcats here on the Voice of the Bobcats as we get ready to start out the second set. The Thermopolis Bobcats losing in that opening set. But as both teams are getting set to go here. So hopefully their fortunes will change around here in the second set. But Lander has just been kind of minimizing their mistakes. The Bobcats have had a lot of blown up plays, I guess for a lack of better words. They just haven't been able to get quite the results that they've wanted off of some of their I am very sorry. I'm kind of blanking here. I'm also trying to do like two things at once here, but just kind of been blanking on a lot of their passes, and that also, well, Lander just did it that time, but I mean, it's kind of a similar situation there where they've also when the Bobcats do get the serve, we've seen them go into the net a couple times, and even then returning off of Lander's serves, it's kind of been just they've had the ball kind of bounce off of them poorly. Goes for the spike to the other end, or for the delivery to the other end of the floor, and now they'll try to give it back, and the Bobcats will fall short of that one. Unable to get a hand on it was 13 of Ella Slover. And now Lander making another sub. Here comes the 23 of Jenna Simon onto the floor. Sends it over the floor, return to sender. The set and the tip. And it looks like a point here for the Bobcats. Or sorry, for the Tigers, I meant to say. Still adjusting to the change on the floor here. They switch sides at the end of each set, so that is definitely something to get used to at first, and that is off of the 11 there. Again, we think that's America Ammond. She is the only one that does not have a number on the roster here. She is also, don't see any other 11s out there. Sends it over the net, a bump, set, and a spike. Goes to the far side. Lander tries to get this one back over. Almost out of bounds. I think Slover was there to touch it. And that one, a little too much juice on it from the 7 of Sky Griffin. And the Tigers still keep the possession here. It's how they opened up the first set as well. Sends it over. Hetzel sets up for it, and that's going to go into the net there. Lander will get another score. We forgot to change the set score on our scoreboard here. So Lander, in case you're just tuning in, Lander winning 1-0 here so far. Out of touch, or out of bounds there. Or did I say out of touch is a soccer thing? I don't know what the heck happened to me there, but 2-5 as it goes out of bounds on the Tigers. Bobcats will get another chance, number 22. I think it's either Aria or Araya. It looks more like Araya. Vincent, either way, serves, and that's going to be a side out there on Vincent. Got a sub for the Bobcats. Jalen Stedman coming back out onto the floor as Vincent will take a breather here. Lander up 2-6. Got Hetzel up there on that Bobcat logo there. She's ready to go. Hetzel with the set. Gives up to Jones. And over, and they're not ready for that one. Going for the attempted dig. There was the 12 of... Sorry, I'm trying to get her name on the roster here. There's no 12 on the JV roster. There is a 12 on the varsity roster. It's Olivia Cole, but I'm not quite sure that's who that is. Goes for the bump, and they'll tip it back. Jones tries to help her men out in the backcourt there. That's going to go into the net. That's going to be a Lander Valley possession. It looks like they charged her with the double as well. 3-7, by the way. We got a sub for Lander. 2 subs, 27 and 11 coming onto the floor. So that is Claire Wagoner and Taylor Kostreva coming onto the Kostreva coming onto the floor. Sends it over off her back heel. That's going to be out of bounds. And a good job by, I'm trying to get her number there, but her hair's covering her number. A good job by Mackenzie Fixter to get over there to try to salvage the rally there, but just unable to do so. The serve by Jones. One-handed, kind of looked like Harry Potter there. Goes for the set, and really the tip there by Izzy Hetzel. They're going to set up for the spike. That was a big one, a huge dig! And they're going to tip it back over. That's a kill there for the Tigers. And just a fantastic job by that back group there behind the attack line all night. They've been doing so well. Getting back there, receiving the spikes. That's probably the biggest bright side the Bobcats have here in this JV contest tonight. Has been their backside receptions here on the defensive side of the net. And now here they go, setting it up. Hetzel with the spike. That's going to go out. A lot of power behind that arm. It's just about learning how to control it. So Lander will have another serve. Here comes the libero coming there to serve number 19, Savannah Martell, the sophomore. Martell delivers, and that's going to go just barely there toward the back. Jones, and now Slover And the libero tries to go for the dive there. That's going to head back up to the Bobcats. 5 on the board for the purple and gold here. And we got a whistle. A sub coming on for the Bobcats. Number 22, Araya Vincent. And in her stead will be the number 8 of Jalen Stedman. She's had a good night tonight for this team. Service coming up here for Hammond. And the spike. And a beautiful dig there for the 7. The set and a spike. That's going to go out toward on the baseline of the basketball court. Fantastic attempt there by Izzy Hetzel. And again, just like she had on her last spike attempt, just a little too much juice on it. I think you could probably have a powerful spike while also learning to control it, but that's going to have to do something that's going to have to be something that the coaches work on her with. That goes out of bounds. That will be a Lander point. We keep forgetting to score Lander. So the scoreboard has me beat, just like in basketball, it seems. Nothing's changed since the winter. Sends it over and into the net. Bobcats will get the easy point. Now serving number 13, Ella Slover, the junior. Apologize. Sends it over for the service. The libero there with a little bit of miscommunication. They'll set up for the spike. That was going way out into the back end and almost hits a lady walking along the baseline of the basketball court here. Well, it's a gas station. 7-11 is your score here. Bobcats trying to claw their way back. The service and a beautiful job by the libero to send it back over on the bump. Bumps it over there to the middle of the floor, trying to get in a good position there. Spikes it over. Jones back over to the 11. She'll send it over, and the dive by the libero as she tries to go for the dig, and the Bobcats with the score. The kill there, I believe, was by the 11 of Merica Ammond. And sends it over. The libero with it, near side, sets the set. Sends it over on the spike. Another spike there for Lander. Jones there to receive it. Spacing across the floor, goes to the far side. Hetzel sends it over. A beautiful stop there by Lander. They'll keep it going. And the rally continues. Here they go. Hetzel sends it over. Lander with the bump here. Set. Spike, or tips it over, tries to dive for it. That's a Tiger point. What a rally there by both sides. And we got, looks like a sub for Lander. 27 headed off the floor, so Wagner will take a breather. Do believe that Alcaraz is back on the floor for the Tigers. She's serving here. Hammond with it. It gives up to the far side. The spike on its way. That's a little too much juice behind it, and that is going to be Sky Griffin kind of going out on the side corner there. The service here for Lander. And goes for the bump there. The diving bump at that. Sends it over the block. The 7 there on the block for the Cats. And they're going to tip it right back over. Ball still alive. And a whistle finally. It looks like 4 on the Tigers. They had 4 touches on that side of the floor. Bobcats will get the point, making it a 13-9 game. And you want to talk about great defensive performances on both sides of the floor here. It's been dig city for both sides here. And the libero sends it over into the net. That's back to the Cats. And you want to talk about that libero, number 19, Savannah Martell. Not been afraid to go for the diving stops. That's going to be into the net there for Hetzel. That'll go back to the Tigers. 14-10, about as close as this game has been all night. The Tigers 7 points away from putting this game to bed. Sends it over. That is Slover with it. Now Hetzel. Gives it back over. Slover on the spike. She'll send it back up toward the three-point line on the basketball court. Sends it up toward the far side. Slover there with it. Griffin, and now trying to see who that is. I think that was the 20 of Paige Jones. Now back over. Hetzel goes for the dig. And now the bump over the net onto the other side of the floor. Lander keeps it alive. The spike on its way. And another dig there for Slover. Jones on the spike, and Lander in a lot of trouble. That's going to put an end to the rally there. The Bobcats making a 3-point game. And looks like we got another sub here for Lander coming back into the game. It looks to be Mackenzie Fixer back into the game here. Bobcats on the serve. It looks like number 22, Araya Vincent on the service. And now here they go up to the middle on the set. A little bit of a further back set than they probably would have liked in the tip. Oh, surprised they didn't call a net violation there on Jones. Paige Jones with the set. Sends it up to Griffin. It's into the net. That's a Lander point. Bobcats are getting so much better at running their plays here. And now it looks like Vincent's coming back off the floor, coming into the game. Number 8, Jalen Stedman, the sophomore. Fun fact, all but 2 players on the roster are sophomores on the JV roster are sophomores for the Bobcats. Slover receives the serve there. Paige Jones sends it over and the dig, and they'll try to push it forward here. Bump, and is not able to get to the ball in time. Good effort by Izzy Hetzel, just not enough reaction time there. And it'll be 16-11. Lander will get the ball back. The libero off the floor for the Tigers. Sends it over. That one hits the top of the net. Jones is there to receive it. And Hetzel will send it back over. Has to dive for it. Into the net. That's going to be Bobcat point. And Izzy Hetzel finally gets the kill she's been looking for tonight. You can definitely see it in her eyes there from here. She wanted to get that kill eventually, and that'll be a point for Lander as it's going to be a side out on the Bobcats. Subs again for Lander. Number 9 coming off the floor, number 27 back into the game. That is Claire Wagner coming back on. 17-12 is your score. Lander on top here in the second set. Hetzel receives it. Now to Jones. The spike goes out toward the far side. It stays within the purple line, so that'll be a Bobcat point. And the kill, I believe, was by Marika Ammond. Beautiful job there on that far side. 13 on the board for the Bobcats, and now Paige Jones set to go for the serve. Sends it up, the spike, clears the net. Tigers put in a bit of a hairy situation there. That's going to go into the net. Bobcat point. And so here comes Paige Jones again. Keeps it alive, 14-17. That one's going to go toward the net. That one's sky high. 8 there to get it. Now Paige Jones and the spike by Ammon. That's on the top of the net. That's going to go to Lander. 4 touches on the Bobcats. And now just an active bench here today. 10 and 19 coming onto the floor. So that appears to be the 10 of Mackenzie Fixter and the libero, Savannah Martell, back onto the floor. And now Martell is going to serve. Sends it up to the far side. Hetzel tries to send it over, and she will. Lander tried to keep it alive there, but just not enough. And it looks like another substitution there as Jaden Stedman back out of the game here. The serve. And sends the spike, keeps it alive any which way she could, and 4 on the Bobcats. Used her foot to try to keep the rally alive there, but Lander on the point. 6 points left in this game for Lander. Can they put the match away in 2? At least I think so. Up to the far side, another Lander point, and that went out of bounds that went off of a touch according to the ref. And the Bobcats will use a timeout here in the second set. We forgot to replenish the timeouts for Lander, so we apologize about that, but we'll be right back. The Bobcats trail by 5 here in the second set. We'll be right back. You're watching JV Volleyball on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. Like talking you back, the serve coming up for Lander, number 12. Getting set to serve it, or 21. Ellie Alcaraz. Jones gets the set. Slover, and it's out of bounds off of the Tigers. The kill by Slover. 16-20. Bobcats trying to send us to a third set here. Slover behind the line here, takes the serve. The reception there by the libero. The spike, and we had a whistle. Looks like net violation there on the 22 of Araya Vincent. So that looks to be, trying to see, I forgot, yep, that is a point. So that's what I thought, but I was waiting on the scoreboard because I don't know everything. I don't know everything. The serve here by Lander. Had a phase in high school where I was obsessed with volleyball, but I never got to properly learn the every last rule in the rule book, you know. Just recently started falling back in love with the sport, so. But anyway, 22-16, Lander on top by 6. Sends it over, the reception by Jones. Now Hetzel, the spike. And a great block there by Lander. They're going to try again. Another block to the far side. I believe the block that time by the 9 of Katie Moore. Try to see who that is. It's either Moore or it is Clancy. And it was, in fact, Moore on the block. And sending back up here. Jones with it. Griffin going to try again on the spike. That one goes back to Lander. Set and spike. Received there by Jones, and they're going to send it back over with one hand. Jones. Now Griffin on the spike, and I couldn't tell if it hit the net or if it got blocked. And it looks like match point here for the Lander Tigers. Sending it over. The bump, the set, and the spike, and it was kind of... Don't know if you could call that a block, but it landed inside the Lander side of the floor. Either way, a point for the Bobcats, block or not. Now here comes Izzy Hetzel behind the line to serve. Izzy Hetzel delivers the serve and goes to the bench, and that is out of bounds. That'll be a Bobcat point. And the crazy thing is, I can't believe Izzy Hetzel is a sophomore. I taught that kid Spanish in 4th grade. Good Lord. And her mom, Cassie, I believe is her name, was also my 5th grade teacher. So with that is the end of that, as Lander able to get the final kill. That is going to conclude this game here from Hot Springs County High School, as the Lander Valley Tigers take it 2-0. With that being said, that's probably going to do it for our coverage here of high school volleyball or JV volleyball on Two Basins Sports Network. Of course, we got the varsity game coming up for you right after this one, so you will definitely want to stay tuned for that one. The Lander Valley Tigers win the JV contest 2-0. We'll be right back in about 15 minutes or so for the start of the... Actually, I don't know how much time they're going to put up on the board, but we'll see you sometime soon for the start of the final set. So with that being said, or not the final set, the final game. For that being said, we'll see you for the varsity game here in just a little bit. 2-0, the final score here for the Lander Valley Tigers. We'll be right back for varsity action in just a moment from Hot Springs County High School. And if that's all you're here for, then until next time, please drive home safe and do not pet the buffalo. And for the rest of you, we'll be back for the start of the varsity game in about 15 minutes or so. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.